Make the upcoming Laylatul Qadr special for you and your family, and bind your fate to the blessed shrine of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. On your behalf, a ziyarat can be performed in the holy city of Karbala. If you cannot make it to the holy land of Karbala this Ramadan, our staff can perform a complete ziyarat of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam with all the a'mal and rituals in the holy shrine on your behalf, in appreciation for a sadaqah of $50. You will also have your names and the names of your dear ones and marhumeens put inside the holy zari alongside your wishes for this special night. This way, you have paid a sadaqah for the well-being of your family and a sadaqah jariyah on behalf of your marhumeen in the holy city of Karbala. By paying this sadaqah, you will also show the Imam of our time your support to the blessed cause of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. To reserve your ziyarah and receive follow-up videos and pictures of your names from the holy city and the holy shrine, WhatsApp us on the numbers displayed now on your screen.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بسيدنا ومولانا أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام، وجعلنا الله وإياكم من الطالبين بثأره بين يدي الإمام المنصور المؤيد المهدي من آل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا وعظيمنا وحبيب قلوبنا وشفيع نفوسنا أبي القاسم محمد، اللهم صل على محمد، وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وأصحابه الغر الميامين. الحمد لله الذي جعلنا من المتمسكين بولاية سيدي ومولاي علي بن أبي طالب. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. أما بعد, before you, this treaty was made amongst the group of the children of Israel, and no one of them died except that he was a martyr, who was either a prophet of his town, a prophet of his tribe, or a prophet by himself. This will be the same for you, except that you are not prophets. Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam's elite guard of loyal companions, the special unit, was known as Sharatat Al-Khamis or Sharatat Al-Khamis. This particular group of people were the most loyal companions Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam ever had. Estimation of their numbers vary from 5,000 to 6,000 in this very special particular unit. These people were ready to die for Imam Ali alayhi salam. We all know very well that being a Shia of Ali at any time is not easy. For a person to maintain their loyalty to Imam Ali alayhi salam can cost them their life. As in, if you examine the last 1400 years of the history of the religion of Islam, you'll see that in different portions the Shia have been oppressed, the Shia have been the victims of injustice at a number of levels, to the extent that for you to call yourself a Shi'i can be one of the most difficult things to do. If you look in the past, there are people who, because they said that we are Shia, were beheaded on the spot, literally, If their names were Ali or Hassan or Hussein, Hajjaj bin Yusuf al-Thaqafi would have an absolute field day in beheading anyone with those names. You find that there are certain people who literally had to dissimulate their tashayyu', however much they loved Imam Ali alayhi salam, but they could not come out publicly and say that we are Shia. Why? Because the governments of their time would be ready to kill them on the spot. Hence, you found a lot of them going in which direction? Either direction of dissimulation or a direction where they literally had to practice opposite to the practice of, for example, the other schools in Islam. Either in their salah, where some would fold their hands instead of putting their hands by their side. You say to them, why? They say to you, because if I put my hands by my side, I will be called a kafir. Whereas if I fold my hands, then a person might still count me as a Muslim. Then you have others who change their children's name. Say, why did you change your children's name? Say, we changed our children's name because if we allowed a child to be known as Ja'far or Baqir or Kadhim or Rida, then straight away we may not even get jobs in certain areas. Do you know that there are parts of the world today where the Shia have a bit more freedom to breathe, but 50, 60, 70 years ago, they were the downtrodden people. One looks in the south of Lebanon, for example. 60, 70 years ago, they were the most downtrodden people, the Shia. Whereas now you see that there is a Shia identity and confidence. Whereas at the same time, you found, for example, how many were Shia of Imam Ali alayhi salam, loved Imam Ali alayhi salam, but lost their tongue because their tongue praised the fada'il and brought about the mentioning of the fada'il of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Therefore, you find at one stage or another, some even stopped saying their Shia to their children. Why? Because they knew that they could get killed or oppressed. Because if they filled out a form, it said you are Shia or Sunni. If you wrote Shia, there was less chance of you being employed. And that's why it's not surprising sometimes, even when you see in certain non-Shia households, the names Fatima and Sukaina and Ruqayya and Hussein, and you think, but these are not Shia. There are some who originally were Shia of Ali. But because of the oppression of their time, they had to dissimulate their beliefs. This group of people who are known as Sharatat Al-Khamis, or if one was to translate directly without it being the exact definition, the Thursday police, these were the most loyal companions of Imam Ali alayhi salam. They vouched that Imam Ali alayhi salam they were ready to die for. They would put their bodies on the line for Imam Ali alayhi salam. Imam Ali, as we all know alayhi salam, his companions are divided into groups. Some are known as the awliya, some are known as the asfiya, some are known as the ashab, some are known as Sharatat Al-Khamis. All of these different groupings highlight that their levels of their ma'rifah and understanding of Imam Ali may differ from one group to another. But they were all ready at one stage or another to die for Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Unfortunately, these 5,000, 6,000 companions who were in that special unit have not been dissected with the depth that they deserve. There are many who can name you 1, 2, 3, 4 of the companions of Imam Ali alayhi salam, but they could only name you, for example, those Sahaba who were also Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. When you ask them, how about the Tabi'een who came in the time of Imam Ali after Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi died, you find that there are thousands of them who were with Mawla at Jamal, with Mawla at Siffin, with Mawla at Nahrawan. Those companions, when you filtered them from the ones who left Mawla, from the ones who backstabbed Mawla, you come to the khullas, to the purest of the pure. These were the ones who were the bodyguards of Imam Ali alayhi salam, meaning not that Imam needed bodyguards, but their bodies were ready to guard Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. They were the ones who had made a covenant with Imam Ali alayhi salam. Imam had said to them on one occasion that I promise you that if you lay down your lives, I cannot promise you gold and silver, but I'll promise you heaven. If Imam Ali alayhi salam tells you that I promise you heaven, but I can't promise you gold and silver, would you take that bargain or no? Automatically, we take that bargain straight away. That Ali ibn Abi Talib says to you that I am giving you certainty that you will have victory in this world or the hereafter, but I cannot offer you the wealth of this world. We'll say, Mawla, we submit. We want to be loyal to you. Therefore, tonight, let's examine the special unit of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, the Sharatat Al-Khamis. And let us try and understand how this special unit developed. And I'd like to do it in the following stages. Number one, what does this hadith from the Imam highlight about all the previous prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the covenant that they had made to make sure that they remained loyal to the path of the Lord and their companions as well? Number two, how did Imam Ali alayhi salam tell his companions that Allah is the one who has placed you and named you in this special unit? Number three, which of these companions is from the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi and Imam Ali alayhi salam? And which ones are from the companions of Imam Ali alayhi salam only? Number four, what things do they all have in common? And especially, how did their stands on the day of Jamal and Safin make clear that if Ali is on one side, it doesn't matter who's gone on another valley. We will never leave Ali ibn Abi Talib. Number five, were they all on the same level? Not necessarily. Number six, how many of these continued to play a role in Karbala after Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam had died? From that police force, special unit of Imam Ali alayhi salam. And finally, on a night like this, the night of the 20th of Ramadan, which of that special command unit are around Imam Ali alayhi salam? Seeing his injury, seeing how unwell he is, and showing their feelings towards him. Let's examine this and dissect the topic in complete depth. The hadith that I quoted at the beginning of the lecture is a hadith that introduces Sharatat Al-Khamis, the special unit. It was a hadith that comes from the Imam, where you find that the Imam comes forward and states very clearly to all those who were around him at the time, where he says, before you, this covenant that I've made with you, this special cavalry, this covenant I've made was done also amongst the children of Israel. And it was done where people ended up being martyrs, where they were either prophets of their tribe, prophets of their town, or prophets by themselves. And this will happen to you, except you are not prophets. Imagine Imam Ali alayhi salam says that to you when you're amongst his companions. What did the Imam mean by this? On the first level, the Imam, when he had collected these particular special unit, the Imam had made it clear to all of them that he wanted to offer them a chance where they have heaven in return for laying their lives. This particular covenant is known as what? As a particular sharata. A sharat has been put, a covenant has been put. Some called it shurta. In Arabic, when you talk of the police, you say shurta, police. Why? Because the idea is, on the one hand with shurta, is that there's a particular symbol of these people. They have a sign, like all police uniforms, have a sign that their role is to guard, their role is to stop harassment, their role is to administer justice. Therefore, the first meaning of this special unit being called shurta was that they are Ali ibn Abi Talib's police. Someone says, why are they called Khamis? Khamis, as you know, is the day of the week in the Arabic language for Thursday. Yes, we have Sabt, which is of course Saturday, Ahad, Sunday, Ithnain, Monday, Thalatha, Tuesday, Arbi'a, Wednesday. Khamis is Thursday. Some said when they are known as Sharatat Al-Khamis, it means that they are the Thursday police because they gave the covenant to Imam Ali alayhi salam that they'll lay down his life at any moment on a Thursday. Others said no. Khamis refers to khamsa. Khamsa means what? 5. Khamsa means that in that army, that cavalry was prepared to protect Imam Ali from all 5 sides where he could get attacked. How could I get attacked? From the front, from behind, from the right, from the left, from above. Someone could come and attack me. So they said that we are what? We are ready from every angle possible to be there to defend you, Mawla. So on the one hand, Sharatat Al-Khamis, some translated it as what? As the Thursday police. Others said no. Rather, it refers to those who made that covenant, that treaty with Imam Ali to protect him from all 5 angles. They had said that. Imam replied to them with this line. He said, by Allah, know one thing, that before you should know that this treaty was done by the children of Israel. And that they became martyrs because of this treaty, including it was a prophet of his tribe, a prophet of his town, or a prophet by himself. What did Mawla mean when he said this? Firstly, that to be loyal to me and give your commitment that you're going to be there for me in all my battles and all my difficulties. Laying down your life is not something easy. I'm telling you from now, being Shia of Ali is not easy. You may face a crisis economically. You may face a crisis with your health. There may be people who bully you, people who threaten you. You may even have marriages dissolved because of it, where people mock you because you are a Shia. But you may also end up losing your life. Know that before you, there are those who made a covenant with the prophets even in the time of the children of Israel. It's true. If you look at the prophets of the children of Israel, either they were beheaded, or they were executed, or they were even sawed in half alongside their companions. The prophets of the children of Israel, if you dissect their biographies, wallah, I give you 2 examples if you want to go and read about them. Nabi Zakaria and Nabi Yahya. Beheading, being stabbed to death. Why? They had made a covenant with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, Ya Allah, we will give our lives for you, O Lord. Their companions, their Shia, because you know the word Shia applies as a group to any. وَإِنَّ مِن شِيعَتِهِ لَإِبْرَاهِيمَ. Ibrahim was one of the Shia of Nabi Nuh alayhi salam. So if you're the Shia of Isa, you could be the Shia of Musa, the Shia of Ibrahim, means you are one of the group. If you are loyal to these prophets of Allah, you could end up being killed. Imam tells his companions that when you say you're going to be loyal to me, no problem, but know that this covenant, the Sharatah had been made before you, where even in the time of the children of Israel, their companions were far and few between, but they lost their lives. You look at 2 examples in the Quran. One example of the Shia of Nabi Musa alayhi salam in Surah 40 verse 28. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And what happened? وَقَالَ رَجُلٌ مُؤْمِنٌ مِّنْ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ يَكْتُمُ إِيمَانَهُ. There was a believer from the people of Fir'aun who concealed his faith. That person was a believer from the people of Fir'aun. He concealed his faith. He was loyal to Nabi Musa alayhi salam, but had to conceal. Eventually, they found this person. When they realized that the person was one of the Shia of who? Of Nabi Musa alayhi salam, what did they do? They executed him. They executed the family. When a person is a Shi'i of a prophet of Allah, either the prophet is executed, the prophet dies as a shaheed, or his Shia die. For goodness sake, Nabi Isa alayhi salam, Nabi Isa had only a few who were loyal to him. They wanted to execute Nabi Isa by crucifying him. As we come in this period of Easter, all of you know that Nabi Isa, in this period, people remember his crucifixion. In Lebanon today, there will be people who even will put someone on the cross because they say we want to feel the pain of Nabi Isa alayhi salam. Nabi Isa had Shia, meaning that he had a group who used to follow Nabi Isa alayhi salam. One amongst them is the one we read about in Surah Yasin. You all know him. وَجَاءَ مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ رَجُلٌ يَسْعَى قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ اتَّبِعُوا الْمُرْسَلِينَ. That person who was known as the Mu'min of Al Yasin had made a covenant with the disciples of Christ that I will remain loyal to you. He comes from the furthest part of the city to protect those people who have been oppressed, who are the Shia of Nabi Isa alayhi salam. Until eventually his people begin to mock him. His people begin to say to him that we will stone you if you do not stop saying you are with them. How many times the Shia of Ali have we been the subject of hate, vitriol? Wallah, sometimes you'll see that, okay, we may differ with each other, but some of the cursing and the swearing and the language is unbelievable. And that is meant to be the saved sect of God. You find that here, they told him, قِيلَ ادْخُلِ الْجَنَّةِ, go and enter that Jannah. How many times they say, go to your Jannah, go to your Muhammad and Hussein and Karbala, and all the making fun and so on. They said, قِيلَ ادْخُلِ الْجَنَّةِ قَالَ يَا لَيْتَ قَوْمِ يَعْلَمُونَ بِمَا غَفَرَ لِي رَبِّي وَجَعَلَنِي مِنَ الْمُكْرَمِينَ. The Imam had told his companions that before you there was a treaty that was made amongst the children of Israel, where the covenant was that we will remain loyal to the path of Allah. But they died as shuhada. The same will happen with all of you. Is this something that you are ready for or no? Whoever does not want to come with me to Jamal, to Saffin, whoever wants to leave me after Saqifa can go. Whoever wants to remain loyal with me, remain loyal. But it's not going to be easy. There's going to be only a few of us. There'll be a time where they'll oppress us. They'll hang us. They'll behead us. They'll crucify us. They'll cut our tongues. Just because you are going to be called Shi'at Ali. But know one thing. This was a name Allah has given you, O people, that your names are amongst the Thursday police, or Sharatat Al-Khamis, those who have made the covenant. What do I mean? Middle of the Battle of Jamal, Imam tells Abdullah bin Naji, what does he say to him? He says to Abdullah bin Naji al-Hadrami, he says, know one thing, your name and your father's name was said to me from the Holy Prophet, from Allah, who had given you that name, that you are amongst this group of people. Meaning what? Meaning that from the time Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi was alive, Rasulullah had made clear to Imam Ali alayhi salam who his loyal ones would be. Many times people say that how could Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa tell Imam Ali who his special unit, elite guards, commanders will be? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa opened doors of knowledge to Imam Ali alayhi salam, which others around him were not privy to. Others could learn, of course, tafasir of the Quran, the Arabic language, hadiths. But Imam Ali, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa initiated him with the Zahir and the Batin, and the Nasikh and the Mansukh, and the Tafsir and the Ta'wil. He opened for him the doors of the Ghaib so that he would be aware of who his companions are and what their roles would be. I ask you, all of you, that when Rasulullah tells this to Imam Ali, why? Because he wants to make clear to Imam Ali alayhi salam, when one day you come across this boy called Maytham, or you come across someone called Habib, one day you may hear someone called Malik, whether it's Malik al-Ashjar or Malik bin Habib. You may come across someone called Ma'qal, Al-Asbagh, Sa'sa'a, Amr, Rushayd, Hujr. When you come across them, I will tell you from now about their position so that when you see them, you'll remember my words to you. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi was the one who had already told Imam Ali alayhi salam that you're going to have a special unit, Sharatat Al-Khamis. Of course, as you know, the whole idea of that Sharata was what? Every government in the world, one way or the other, has a special unit. So you've got the general police, and then within the police, you have a special unit. That special unit, I might not know them. They may be plain-clothed individuals. But their role is what? In the past, before the word shurta was used, let's say for police, the word sometimes would be hurras. They would be known as those who would protect the area. Then later, the word shurta comes. The word shurta probably has come to us from the Latin cohort. So you find that the word sharta or shurta comes into the Arabic language. These would be what? Would be bodyguards, would be people ready to defend. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, in his time, was there this orderly structure of a major police force? No. But were there people who were ready to lay down their lives for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi? Yes. In Abu Bakr's time, this also existed, where he had certain people on the outskirts of Medina, watching for any attacks that may enter Medina. Umar ibn al-Khattab, he would have, for example, nightly patrols himself to go and see the administration of the country, of the government. Sometimes he'd go out with Abd al-Rahman bin Auf, and nightly patrol of houses and so on and so forth. Uthman bin Affan, likewise. Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam had general structure of the police or the military, and then he had a special unit. A general structure involved those people who would be there to administer justice, remove injustice, and try and protect the state. But the special unit were those who were what? Were those who were ready to lay down their lives. Because he said to them blatantly, he said, listen, I'll guarantee you Jannah if you guarantee me that you'll sacrifice your life for me. When they heard that, they were ready to do it. But who was the first of them who was on this path to do it? Was it Imam Ali's companions when he became Khalifa? No. It began where? It began from the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi and the succession of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Why? Because when Saqifa happened, this special unit of Imam Ali really began straight after Saqifa. What do we mean? The special unit of Imam Ali alayhi salam was divided into those who were companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi and Imam Ali, and then those who were only companions of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Those who were the part of the special unit, who were only companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, who were they? Number one, Salman al-Farsi. Salman al-Farsi was part of the special unit, Sharatat Al-Khamis of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Salman remained loyal to Imam Ali alayhi salam. Who else was there? Abu Dhar al-Ghifari, Ammar bin Yasir, Miqdad ibn al-Aswad, Amr bin Hamaq al-Khuza'i. You have others who were present, who were companions, maybe some who never saw Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I'll give you an example of the people who was a companion of the Prophet, but he never met him, but was living in his time, and remained all the way until Imam Ali's time. Was who? Was Uwais al-Qarani. Uwais al-Qarani, as you all know, has the famous story in relation to his mother. That his mother, of course, had said that I don't want you to go and visit Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, and he tried to visit the Prophet eventually. And then the Prophet, peace be upon him and his family, the Prophet, peace be upon his family, had smelt the fragrance of Jannah and asked, had Uwais come? Uwais was part of the special unit. He was part of Sharatat Al-Khamis. He was one of them who was part of it, who had lived during the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, and then died giving his body for Imam Ali alayhi salam. This Uwais, there were two other companions with him who were part of the Thursday police or the special cavalry, who were companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, who died as shuhada alongside Imam Ali alayhi salam. Who were they? Uwais al-Qarani, Ammar bin Yasir, Khuzaymah bin Thabit al-Ansari, Dhul Shahadatain. All of you know that ISIS bombed where these people are buried in Raqqa. If you remember, back in the day when we used to be able to go to Halab and Raqqa by bus from Sham, many of us would go from Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam all the way up to where? All the way up to Halab and Raqqa. It used to be an arduous journey. It was a long journey. It was always a hot day for some reason. And when we would get there, we would visit the mosque where the Battle of Siffin took place. This Battle of Siffin, Imam Ali alayhi salam, his cavalry were all prepared to die alongside him. They would prefer that they die and Ali remains alive. They would prepare and prefer that they die and Imam Ali's teachings continue. These three, when the Sunni world says you Shia do not respect the Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alih, we reply by saying, so when I see that Ammar bin Yasir, Khuzaymah bin Thabit al-Ansari, and Uwais al-Qarani died alongside Rasulullah alongside Imam Ali alayhi salam in the Battle of Siffin. What does that say? Number one, that there was a group, and these are vital points to note. Number one, that the Thursday police, or Sharatat Al-Khamis, those who had made the covenant, number one, they were the earliest Shia of Ali. Sometimes people ask me this question. They say that couldn't Rasulullah have made things clearer? Or couldn't God have written Imam Ali's name in the Quran? It would have been so much easier. Then how did they join Imam Ali alayhi salam? When someone says to you, couldn't have been easier, then Ammar bin Yasir will say, what do you mean couldn't be easier? It was clear as day. That's why I died alongside him. Uwais al-Qarani will say to you, it's clear as day. That's why I died alongside him. Khuzaymah bin Thabit will say it's clear as day. That's why I died alongside him. On the first level, the first group of Shi'at Ali were these people. Why? They were the ones who remained loyal to Imam Ali against anyone who fought Imam Ali alayhi salam. That was number one. The second attribute that they all had was what? That they knew the Imam of their time clearly, and it was not wishy-washy for them. True? They knew that the Imam of their time is Ali ibn Abi Talib. It's not one day Muawiyah, one day Amr ibn al-As, one day Talha, one day Zubair, one day Uthman, one day people fighting Uthman. No! They knew the Imam of their time clear as day. They remained loyal to him. That was number two. Number three, they submitted to any command of the Imam of their time. Imam said to them, sit, they sat. Stand, they stood. Is there a better moment of an example of a member of Sharatat Al-Khamis, the elite gods, than Malik al-Ashtar? Malik al-Ashtar, you want to see submission to Ali ibn Abi Talib? Look at him at Siffin. 2 rows away from Muawiyah. He could finish Muawiyah now. Game over. Mawla tells him comes back. He comes back. Why does he come back? Because the third sign of them, Shia, knowing the Imam of their time, submit to the command of the Imam of their time. The Imam of their time tells them, stand, stand. Sit, sit. Jump, jump. No questioning. No why. I'm not going to deny, by the way, that even amongst the special unit of the elite guards, not all of them are on the same level. Let's be frank. Salman, no one is from the elite guard going to come to the level of Salman. At the end of the day, the companions of the Imams, all of them, some are not at the same level as others. Some, their ma'rif of the Imam is higher than others. Some, their depth of knowledge is higher than others. Therefore, can we say all the Imams, companions, and elite guards were on the same level? I'll give you an example. Nu'aym, who was the son of Dajaja, Nu'aym, son of Dajaja, was one of the elite guards. He had heard that the Imam had wanted the capturing of Bishr bin Ubadah. Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib wanted Bishr bin Ubadah to be caught. Nu'aym bin Dajaja was one of the elite guards of Imam Ali alayhi salam. But he was friends back in the day with Bishr bin Ubadah. Imam Ali alayhi salam told his elite guards that I want you to go and capture who? To go and capture Bishr bin Ubadah. When Nu'aym bin Dajaja heard this, Nu'aym turned around and gave Bishr a little tip that they want to come and capture you. This Nu'aym bin Dajaja was ready to lay his life for Ali. But that was a moment of weakness that affected him. Mawla came. He said, I heard that you gave a tip-off for the person we wanted to capture who was causing trouble for us. He said to him, yes, I did. He said, why? He said, listen, as for me being one of your elite guards, the reality is that while I'm under you, I'm still at a lowly level where I can never be higher than you. But if I leave you, then I fall into disbelief. So I better remain in the middle where I am. That person was very truthful in what he said. He said, look, I'm one of your elite gods. I'm ready to die for you. But at this moment, a thought came in my head. And that thought was that I'm still living quite a lowly life, being one of your Shia. This is very important because it affects all of us at one stage. Some of us may be affected. Do I have to say I'm Shia, Shia proud? Shouldn't I just say I'm just Muslim? Just keep the, just, you know what? There's no need for this Shia confidence, this Shia pride. It's not getting me any. Never be affected by this. Never. On the contrary, what happens? He said, Mawla, the reality is, under you, I may be in a state of dhul. And if I leave you, I'm in a state of kufr. Imam Ali alayhi salam looked at the others of the elite guards who were higher than him, said, let him go. They said, but Mawla, this guy's a snitch. The guy just done that. He said, but listen to his words. The first part of what he said was a sin. That being amongst my Shia and my elite makes him feel a bit lowly in the current climate. But the second part of what he said deserves a reward. That if he leaves my path, he goes towards a world of disbelief. That at least he admitted, let him go about his way. Notice here, Imam Ali alayhi salam never forced any of the elite guards to remain. He said, I made a covenant with you, you made a treaty with me. And that is, you lay down your life for me, I guarantee you Jannah. How many of us are ready to do that, Shia? As Shia, how many of us? Wallah. Amongst the Shia, this person, Nu'aym bin Dajaja, I'm telling you, there are Shia who are more scared than this person. What do I mean? There are some Shia who will not say they're Shia of Ali. Why? They miss out on all the business contracts. And for them, the business contract sometimes more important than Akhirah. There are some, they will continue to live their whole lives. They'll say, listen, I admit I'm Shi'i. Then I'm going to miss out on business contracts, government tenders. I'm not going to have the jobs that I want. There's a difference between someone whose life is in danger if they say it, versus someone who deep down knows I prefer dunya than akhirah. True? There are some I can appreciate. You may be living in a certain part of the world. You don't say you're Shia of Ali. Why? You may be going through a danger. Someone might kill you. Someone might assassinate you. We've seen members of our families over the last 50 years killed or executed from one direction or another. But then there are some, no. They're living in mansions. They're living in palaces. But they just do not like to admit their tashayyu' because their one non-Shia friend might get a bit offended. I used to remember in my younger days, people would come up to me when I was going to give a lecture and they'll say, you know, said Ammar, my Sunni friend is coming to the lecture. So I'll say, and how can I help them, inshallah? If they want to meet me afterwards, more than welcome. I said, no. Don't be too Shia. Sorry? I said, not too Shia. What is it? Shi'ism has a scale of what's too Shia. What's this place where they sell chicken? Nando's? Apparently on the scale of what's chili, there's certain levels. What's too Shia? I'm not understanding. What's too Shia? Say, no, because you might say something, they might get offended. Firstly, in your quest for knowledge, if you're going to get that easily offended, haven't developed thick skin, then you have to go to another place and maybe another quest. Number two, that's my belief system and my reading. If you don't agree with it, you don't have to agree with it. You want to go and do something else, you're more than welcome. No one's forcing you. You want to come and hear, then you come and hear. You want to listen, you want to listen. You don't want to listen, then there are other places in which you are able to go and hear. What's too Shia? There's one group who are like this Nu'aym. If I'm too Shi'i, where's it going to get me? There's another group who will not even tell their children about the masa'ib of Ahlul Bayt. They'll say, I don't want to say anything to my kids. I don't want them growing up hearing tragedy. Let's talk about things, love and peace and hugging. You know, like a hippie movement that may have happened at a certain period. Let's remain peaceful all the time. Remain peaceful is not a problem. Well, that's what we want. But at the end of the day, if we're being attacked and our children don't know their aqa'id, then I'm the one going to be questioned on Qiyamah, not you. I will be the one who will be told, with that knowledge, did you disseminate or you kept it for yourself? With that knowledge, you just looked religious and you weren't willing to give back what you had studied. I will be the one who will be questioned on the Day of Judgment. Therefore, that's a second group of the Shia. A second group. A third group are the ones who say, what's the need for us to talk about Imam Ali too much? Maybe we talk about Imam Ali too much. Wallah, I tell you, in my position, I have not discussed an iota of the life of Ali ibn Abi Talib. No words of a speaker are able ever to eloquently describe Ali ibn Abi Talib's life, let alone dissect every single aspect of his life. Therefore, when someone comes to me, they came, Imam Ali's elite guards, they were the ones who said, we are Shia to the core. And they had another thing in common with each other. What was it? Anyone who fights Ali ibn Abi Talib, we fight them. Uthman, if we see he's doing something wrong, we do not care. Third Khalifa, rightly guided. Ask Abdullah bin Mas'ud. Ask Ammar bin Yasir. Ask Malik al-Ashtar. Ask Abu Dhar al-Ghifari about how they spoke against Uthman bin Affan. But Abu Dhar, you shouldn't do tabarra. Abu Dhar, don't do tabarra. You teach Abu Dhar about how to talk? Ammar, don't do tabarra. Ammar, this is Muawiyah, he's a Sahabi, don't do tabarra. Look at Ammar's words at Siffin. Look at Abdullah bin Mas'ud's words against Uthman bin Affan. Muhammad bin Abu Bakr's words against who? Against Uthman. Al-Asbagh bin Nubata's words against Uthman. Look at the words of Malik al-Ashtar against Uthman. All of these spoke out against Uthman. Couldn't Imam Ali have said, guys, chill? We need unity between the Muslims. We need peace between the Muslims. Imam, on the one hand, did not want to see fitna, but on the other hand, if Uthman's doing something wrong, then Imam was the first to look at what he was doing and tell him, look, there's an issue with the Umayyads you're bringing back in. All of a sudden, Marwan is back, Walid bin Uqba is back. One by one, they're back. That elite guard, the first thing they had in common was that they dissociated from Uthman bin Affan blatantly. The second thing, they dissociated from Aisha blatantly. Why? Because that elite guard, where do you see them the most in particular? Jamal and Siffin. Jamal and Siffin, that elite guard, they couldn't wait to fight the opposition. Aisha's army for them was an army that was against the Imam of the time. And the Prophet had said, Ya Ali, لا يحبك إلا مؤمن ولا يبغضك إلا منافق. Oh Ali, no one loves you except a believer. And no one hates you except what? A hypocrite, a munafiq. Ammar bin Yasir, Jamal, all of these were at Jamal one by one. Because when you look at the list of them, the special elite guard of Imam Ali alayhi salam, they are Jamalis and Saffinis and Nahrawanis through and through. 1 or 2 or 3. Amr bin Hamaq al-Khuza'i, Rushad al-Hajari, Al-Asbagh bin Nubata, Sa'sa'a bin Sawhan, Muhammad bin Abu Bakr, Malik al-Ashtar, Habib ibn Madahir, Malik bin Habib, Ma'qal, amongst others. All of these were either at Jamal, Saffin, Nahrawan, which means what? Which means they dissociated from Uthman bin Affan, from Aisha, from Muawiyah, one by one. That's Shi'at Ali. Whether you agree with my reading, my dear non-Shia, is up to you. If you believe that someone who raises an army of 100,000 and more on the day of Jamal against Ali ibn Abi Talib is a side you want to be on, you join that side on the day of judgment. My side are the elite cavalry of Ali and the Shia of Ali and that Sharatat Al-Khamis. That side remained loyal to Mawla in everything that they did. And one thing they could not take, you insult Mawla, you insult me. That was a red line for them. If you insulted Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, they took it as an insult against them. Look at them one by one, how they got killed. Amr bin Hamaq al-Khuza'i, killed. Why? speaking out against the cursing of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Maytham al-Tammar killed. Why? Speaking out against the cursing of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Hujr bin Adi killed. Why? Speaking out against the cursing of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Rushayd al-Hajari killed. Why? Speaking out against the cursing of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Muhammad bin Abu Bakr al-Malik al-Ashtar, speaking out. Why? Killed. Why? Speaking out against the cursing of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib. One by one, why were all of these killed? Because Ali ibn Abi Talib remained a red line. Red line. Ali ibn Abi Talib remains a red line for all of us. All of us means what? Means the reality is when someone curses Imam Ali alayhi salam, you are cursing Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When Rasulullah says, Ya Ali, la yuhibbuka illa mu'min, wa la yubghiduka illa munafiq, what's the Holy Prophet saying? He's saying very clearly that the one who loves you is a believer, but if they hate you, they're a munafiq. I am going to allow someone to curse Mawla and I remain quiet? Hujr bin Adi's neck went because of that. Muawiyah, Mughira bin Shu'bah, Amr ibn al-As, Ziyad bin Abi, all of these, what were they? They were cursing Ali ibn Abi Talib left, right and center. That's what our manabir became. Became manabir where Mawla was cursed so much, where Mawla was reviled so much that on a night like this, when Sham heard that Ali had been struck, someone asked, struck where? They said in his sujood. He said, does he even pray? That's what happens when you bring up a generation in this way. A generation. But what you need are those who are ready to lay down their lives for you. Hujr bin Adi said, take my neck. Kumail came later on. Hajjaj killed him. Qambar, Hajjaj killed him. Sa'id ibn Jubair, Hajjaj killed him. All of these, what did they have all in common, my dear brothers and sisters? They all were ready to give their lives to Imam Ali alayhi salam, number one. Number two, submit to every word Imam Ali said because these are the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Number three, dissociate from Uthman and from Aisha and from Muawiyah blatantly. That if they fight Ali at Jabal or Safin, we are next to Ali ibn Abi Talib. No, we are at the front and on the side and on the side and on the back. And anyone who comes near Ali ibn Abi Talib, will never allow them to. They asked Sayyid Baha'uddin al-Najafi once, they said to him, Sayyidina, why doesn't Imam al-Hujjah, Ajjalallah farajahu al-Sharif, why doesn't he come out and fight like Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam fought? Interesting question. That Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, he laid his life, he came out, he fought. Why Imam al-Mahdi? They asked him, why Imam al-Mahdi doesn't come out and do the same? And he replied with an interesting reply. He said Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam had Sharatat Al-Khamis, 70 of the type of people he needed at Karbala. Allahu Akbar. Listen to his words. He said Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam had from Sharatat Al-Khamis 70 of the type of people that was sufficient for him to fight. Notice the words one by one. Number one, he had from Sharatat Al-Khamis, from that special elite guard unit. Because a number of the companions of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam were companions of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. Most famous of them, Habib ibn Madahir. Habib ibn Madahir, where was he trained? Under Ali ibn Abi Talib. Muslim ibn Awsaja, where was he trained? Ali ibn Abi Talib. All of these were trained. And imagine Ali ibn Abi Talib is your teacher. Is there a better teacher? There's no better teacher than Mawla. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam had Sharatat Al-Khamis, 70 of them. Said Baha'uddin Najafi said, I tell you something. Imam al-Mahdi, why he doesn't come out? Because he doesn't have that right Sharatah that those had. Those had made a covenant with Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib that our bodies, we will die for you. If they cut our tongue singing your praise, let them cut our tongue on a palm tree. We're ready to do it. And if they behead us in the middle of Sham or in the middle of Kufa, wherever you may be. Someone asked the question, well, if these people were ready to lay down their lives, then how comes Imam Ali got struck in the mosque? Where were they? Because Imam Ali alayhi salam would not trouble them when he'd go out in the night time. He wouldn't ask them to be around him. Imam had no problem himself going out himself, by himself, going forward. All he asked was one thing. if there's a moment where you see someone is ready to kill our message, you will be ready to give your life to protect our message. How many of us have reached that level of elite guards for Imam al-Hujjah? I ask you. Are we ready to sacrifice, forget our life, sacrifice our time, forget life, for the Imam of our time, the way all of these sacrifice for the life of the Imam of their time? Do you know what the mentality was amongst all of these as the fifth common denominator? The fifth one was, don't heap praise on us. Rather, only praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They would always say, don't say Malik was great, Ammar was great, Muhammad bin Abu Bakr was great, Uwais al-Qarani was great. Say all greatness belongs to Allah, and the Ahlul Bayt are the ones who are representing the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That was number 5. The sixth common denominator of all the elite gods, what was it? We cannot live in a world where Ali ibn Abi Talib is not present. That's the sixth common denominator. Wallah. These six, the 6 things of these elite gods, this last one is the one that all of us have to ask ourselves. Have we reached that level where Mawla is more important to us than even our kids? There are some on 9th, 19, 20, 21, be very normal for them as if Mawla has not even died. There are some who would prefer that they make the wealth of this world and not get it affected by saying that we're Shia. And then there are some who on a night like this, in the land of Kufa, they were crying by the body of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Imagine. Why were they crying? Notice the wording of this night 20 of Shahr Ramadan. I always say the most painful night is night 20. Many go to the mosques on 19 and 21, maybe because also Laylatul Qadr. But night 20, imagine your father was injured. Ask those of you whose father has ever been through an illness where the doctors have said that this is very difficult to treat, or he's been weak. How difficult is it for you to go to your father's room and see him unable to move, unable to walk? And that may be your father who's just about breathing. But how about a father where you could see the deepest of deep cuts in the middle of the head of your father? Imagine that feeling, my dear brothers and sisters. That imagine on a night like this, Zainab on one side and Kulthum on the other, and Hassan and Hussein by the bodies of their father. Imagine that sight, my dear brothers and sisters. That sight on a night like this. You imagine that sight, my dear brothers and sisters. On a night like this, you see that all of them are surrounding, and the doctor has come towards who? The doctor has come towards them, and he said to them, come and bid farewell to your father, for your father's in his final hours. May Allah bless all the lovers of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. Take your hearts on a night like this next to the Dharih of the Imam. The doctor turned around to Imam al-Hassan. He said to him that try and all of you bid farewell now. The wound is too deep for me to treat it. He's going to pass away very shortly. Imam al-Hassan's heart broke upon hearing this news, and he saw Imam al-Hussein next to his father. One of the narrations mentions Imam al-Hussein virtually fainted when he heard that piece of news. Why? Any of us, if we heard our father was dying in his last moments, we will not be able to remain strong. Imagine Abu Abdullah's heart. This wasn't just any father. This is Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. But the Imam placed his hands on the chest of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. One reason was what? Was to calm him down. Yes, but another, it's as if the Imam knew one day that chest will be trampled on by the horses of the Umayyads. All of them were now there amongst the companions, amongst the elite guard who was there. Kumail bin Ziyad was there, Hujr bin Adi was there, and Al-Asbagh bin Nubay Nubata was there. Al-Asbagh bin Nubata was very close to Imam Ali alayhi salam. When he heard the doctor say what he said, he couldn't stop crying. He was heartbroken. At that moment, Al-Asbagh, Imam al-Hassan looked at Imam Ali. Imam Ali alayhi salam said, tell them they can leave now. They've done so much for me. They've always been there for me. Tell them they can go home. So Imam al-Hassan came to the elite guards who were there. He came to them and he said that all of you could go home. Don't worry about it. We'll stay here now with him. Some of them, they all went outside. Imam told them, all of you can go home. Imam al-Hassan came back. He sat by the body of his father, tears trickling from his eyes. All of a sudden, Imam Ali looked at Imam al-Hassan. He said, did you tell all of them to go back towards their homes? He said, yes, I told them. He said, but I hear one of them crying outside. Who is it that's still there? Imam al-Hassan wondered who that was. Imam al-Hassan came out. He saw Al-Asbagh bin Nubata. He said, Asbagh, I said to you, you could go home. He said, please forgive me. I cannot take Amir al-Mu'mineen in this state. So Imam al-Hassan came back to Imam Ali. He said to him, he's devastated. He can't even walk back to his house. He's just sat outside. So then Imam Ali told him, he said, Hassan, my son, tell him to come and sit next to me. Look at the heart of Amir al-Mu'mineen at this moment. Al-Asbagh came back towards the Imam. He sat by the Imam. The Imam looked at him. He said to him, Al-Asbagh, do not worry, for Jannah awaits me. Al-Asbagh looked towards the Imam and he said to him, my worry isn't about you going to Jannah. Rather I worry, how do I live in a world where Ali ibn Abi Talib is not present? Allahu Akbar. Imagine that love. How can I survive in a world where my Mawla is not there? The world will not be the same to me. The Imam calmed him. Al-Asbagh left. Why did Asbagh leave? Asbagh left for one reason, because he knew that Mawla's sons and daughters want to be alone with him. The most difficult time for brothers and sisters is being alone with their father. Being alone with your parents is a difficult moment. The Imam looked at the eyes of Imam al-Hassan and Imam al-Hussein, and he saw them crying, and he tried to calm both his sons down. But when he saw Zainab with the tears flowing from her eyes, the Imam said, Zainab, come next to me. It's as if he had remembered the young Zainab when her mother died between the wall and the door. It's as if Zainab was looking at him and saying, I cannot take this anymore. Losing my mother was one thing, but to lose my father who's lying on that floor, one wound on his head, and she was broken. A day she's next to a wounded Amir, another day she's next to the wounds of Abu Abdullah. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون واللعنة الدائمة على القوم الظالمين. Ya Allah, raise us with Muhammad and Al Muhammad. Raise us with the Imam of our time, Imam Sahib al-Asr wal Zaman. Allow us to be amongst his companions. For all of those who have asked for dua, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, all together. أَمَّن يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَاهُ وَيَكْشِفُ السُّوءَ. All of you, raise your hands at home. أَمَّن يُجِيبُ المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. Ya Allah, count us as amongst those loyal to the path of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Allow us to perform the ziyarah of Imam Ali alayhi salam in the land of Najaf, and allow all of us, our family members, our friends and our communities to receive the shafa'ah of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the Surah Al-Fatiha for the elite guards and the loyal companions of Mawla, but before it the loudest of your salawat. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم.
This is your generosity come to life. Our team in Karbala are busy assembling and delivering iftar packs with your donations. Witness the impact of your support as we reach out to feed the orphans, the vulnerable and the needy with 100 meals this Ramadan. We don't want to stop here. Please continue to contribute in helping to make a world of difference. Support Imam Hussein Charity today. Support the needy in Karbala. www.imamhusseincharity.com